Imagine a time when horror films were not about jump scares or gore, but about captivating performances that sent chills down your spine. This was the era of Lon Chaney Jr., born on February 10, 1906. As Creighton Tull Chaney, he was destined to leave an indelible mark on the world of cinema. His legacy wasn't just inherited, it was earned through memorable roles that would forever etch his name in the annals of horror. From the tormented Larry Talbot in The Wolfman to the enigmatic Count Alucard in Son of Dracula, Chaney Jr.'s performances were a testament to his talent and versatility. His career spanned 4 decades, a testament to his enduring appeal and the timeless nature of his performances. Born Creighton Tull Chaney, the world would come to know him as Lon Chaney Jr., a name that would become synonymous with the golden age of horror cinema. Before he became a legend, Chaney Jr. was a child with a troubled past. Born Creighton Tull Chaney on February 10, 1906, the future actor was the son of the renowned Lon Chaney and Frances Cleveland Creighton. His early years were spent under the shadow of his father, a famous actor known for his roles in silent films. Despite the glitz and glamour surrounding his family, Chaney Jr.'s childhood was anything but easy. His relationship with his father was complex, marked by both admiration and a struggle to carve out his own identity. His father's fame cast a long shadow, and young Creighton often found himself grappling with the weight of the Chaney name. Lon Chaney Sr. was a man of many masks, both on and off the screen, and his son would later follow in his footsteps, albeit with a distinctively different approach to his craft. Before he found his calling in acting, Chaney Jr. worked various jobs. He was a plumber, a meat cutter, and even dabbled in the business world. But the siren call of the silver screen was never far away. His father's death in 1930 left a void in Hollywood, and in his son's life. It was then that Creighton began to seriously consider following in his father's footsteps. Despite the pressure and expectations that came with the Chaney name, Creighton decided to make his mark in the world of acting. Initially choosing to use his own name, he later adopted the stage name Lon Chaney Jr., a nod to his father's legacy. It was a decision that was met with controversy, with many accusing him of riding on his father's coattails. But Chaney Jr. was not deterred. He was determined to prove that he was more than just a famous man's son. His first major role came in the form of Lenny in Of Mice and Men in 1939. It was a critical success, and the stepping stone Chaney Jr. needed to establish himself. From then on, there was no looking back. Despite his turbulent upbringing, Chaney Jr.'s path would eventually lead him to the silver screen. In 1939, a star was born when Chaney Jr. delivered a critically acclaimed performance in Of Mice and Men. This marked the beginning of an illustrious career in the film industry, setting the stage for a legacy that would span 4 decades. His first major role in Of Mice and Men was a testament to his acting prowess and versatility. He brought to life the character of Lenny Small, captivating audiences with his nuanced portrayal of a man with a gentle soul trapped in a powerful body. Following this breakthrough performance, Chaney Jr. went on to star in a slew of films that showcased his range and talent. Among these were 1 Million BC in 1940 and Billy the Kid in 1941. Each role he played added a new dimension to his growing body of work, proving that he was not just a one-hit wonder, but a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. It was around this time that Universal Studios, recognizing the value of his father's legacy, insisted that he adopt the stage name Lon Chaney Jr. It was a move that was met with some resistance. After all, he had been carving out a name for himself as Creighton Chaney, but eventually he relented and began using his father's name. This decision was not made lightly. He understood the weight of the name he was taking on. His father, Lon Chaney, was a revered figure in the film industry, known for his transformative roles in silent horror films. But Chaney Jr. was not deterred. He saw it as an opportunity to honor his father's legacy while also establishing his own. And so, as Lon Chaney Jr., he embarked on a new chapter of his career. Little did he know that he was about to step into his father's shoes in more ways than one, paving the way for his own journey into the world of horror. It was a move that would not only honor his father's legacy, but also pave the way for his own journey into the world of horror. With the lead role in Man-Made Monster, Chaney Jr. stepped into the realm of horror, a genre that would become his home. Lon Chaney Jr., whose career sprawled across 4 decades, found his true calling when he stepped into the world of horror. He took on roles that would make him a staple in Universal's horror films, and his performances would not only define his career, but also shape the future of horror films. His portrayal of Larry Talbot in The Wolf Man in 1941 was nothing short of iconic. This was not just another horror character, it was a deeply troubled and complex individual, stricken with a curse that transformed him into a beast under the full moon. Chaney Jr.'s performance was so compelling that it would forever link his name with that of the tortured lycanthrope. And then came Son of Dracula, where he played Count Alucard, another iconic character in the Pantheon of Universal monsters. His unique approach to portraying these characters, imbuing them with a sense of humanity beneath their monstrous exteriors, was a testament to his talent and versatility as an actor. His roles were not limited to wolfmen and vampires. He stepped into the shoes of various other creatures, from mummies to Frankensteins, each time bringing a new depth and dimension to the character. He was a master of his craft, and his work in the horror genre is still celebrated today. But it was not just his acting that made him a legend. Chaney Jr. was a pioneer in the horror genre. He brought a level of depth and complexity to his characters that was unprecedented for the time. He wasn't just playing monsters, he was playing characters who happened to be monsters. And it was this nuanced approach that made his performances so compelling and memorable. Chaney Jr.'s performances would not only define his career, but also shape the future of horror films. His legacy continues to inspire and influence generations of actors and filmmakers, proving that even in the realm of the monstrous, there is room for humanity and depth. Like all great stories, Chaney Jr.'s tale also had an ending. As we move into the twilight of Chaney Jr.'s life, we find him battling with health issues, just as his characters battled with their inner demons on screen. His final years were marked by a struggle with throat cancer and liver disease, casting a shadow over his once vibrant life. But even amidst such adversities, he never lost his spirit. The spotlight that once illuminated his path seemed to dim, yet his indomitable will shone through. In the midst of these health struggles, Chaney Jr.'s career began to wane. His final roles were in low-budget horror films, but he carried each part with the same intensity and fervor that made him a legend. His final film, Dracula vs. Frankenstein, was released in 1971, marking the end of an era. His life journey came to a close on July 12, 1973, in San Clemente, California. He was 67 years old. The cause of his death was heart failure, a result of the years of health complications he had endured. As the curtain fell on his life, a hush descended upon the world of horror cinema. The man who had brought so many iconic characters to life was no longer amongst us. But even in death, Chaney Jr. wasn't alone. He left behind a family, his wife Dorothy and 2 sons, who carried forward his name and legacy. His life story, filled with trials and triumphs, became a beacon for aspiring actors, a testament to the power of resilience and determination. In the end, Chaney Jr.'s life was a narrative as compelling as any film he starred in. His struggles were real, his victories hard-fought. He was not just a star, but a fighter, a survivor, who left an indelible mark on the world of cinema. Lon Chaney Jr. may have left us, but his legacy lives on in the heart of every horror film enthusiast. Lon Chaney Jr.'s contribution to the horror genre is far from forgotten. This colossus of the silver screen was born as Crichton Tull Chaney in the early days of the 20th century, and he went on to etch his name into the annals of cinematic history. His life was a kaleidoscope of diverse experiences, from a troubled childhood to a remarkable career that spanned 4 decades. His unforgettable performances as Larry Talbot in The Wolf Man and Count Alucard in Son of Dracula left indelible marks on the horror film industry. He brought a unique blend of humanity and terror to these roles, creating characters that were as compelling as they were frightening. Today, his work continues to inspire and captivate audiences, from seasoned horror aficionados to those just discovering the genre. His performances are not just remembered, they are studied, revered, and celebrated. And with that, we conclude the story of yet another remarkable legend in the pop culture pantheon. Thank you for watching.